One of my loyal subscribers asked me a really good, sincere question earlier today, and I wanted to make a response video. He asked, do a video about who's really behind it all when it comes to world corruption and all the problems we're facing. And the answer that occurred to me first, and sometimes that's the best one to go with, it's us. We're behind it all because we allow it to happen. It doesn't take a whole lot of math to figure out that most 100 people you can pick out of a crowd don't have any power position in the world, but somebody does. Which means there's thousands of people being pushed around by one or two people for every certain square mileage. That's crazy. That's the problem. The people don't unite, and they don't... It's not really a person's fault. It's obviously so normal to be pushed into pacifism and complacency and confusion. It doesn't matter if you don't have all the answers. You know, when you're trying to work it all out with 9/11 or some of the big things, you only need one biggie to know that it's wrong. And then once you got that, you got to work to get people together and say, look, we know this is absolutely wrong. We've got to do something about it. It doesn't matter if we don't know the whole story because it's designed to be confusing. But on a basic level, you know, a lot of the truthers try to go with just sticking with Building 7, and that was a pretty good way to do it. And they should have formed, you know, a group, you know, like when a religion would spread like wildfire, they would do it because it would work because of a canon that was, they were dedicated to. You know, Dianetics grew from that clearing process. Ignatius Loyola got the Jesuits together by his spiritual cleansing exercises that he would do. Paul of Tarsus founded Christianity on his fundamental sermons about Jesus. Even though they was pretty individual interpretations of Jesus. It wasn't like his letters are quoting Jesus. He's basically taking what he knows about the Gospels and changing it around. So that it's just... So you got to go with his interpretation of what Jesus is saying. You know, a lot of people don't even read the Bible and know that. So they don't realize that you go to a Mass and a lot of that is ritualistic procedure to get you in a certain mindset so that you're feeling great, you know, halfway through the second half of the Mass where you put the money in the basket. These things are about getting people to give you money. If you think about it, how many people that pay taxes every year, they just do it without question. And they hate it. They just hate it. And they sit around at Thanksgiving and complain about it. Like, oh, I'm going to have to start getting my tax stuff together. And it's just like, there should be like a tax boycott club. That could be like a religion that spreads, you know? With a fundamental complaint. You know, a dogma. And have one of those be founded and have missionaries just like all the religions did. Where the tax haters got followers and said, no, if we get a bunch of people together, we can stop this and expose the IRS for what it really is. And, you know, sticking to the basic fact that it's robbery. When someone forces you to give them your money, it's robbery. It should never be a case of them forcing you to give them money. If it's really something that you're doing unconstitutionally wrong, you should just have a punishment that you got to do. But people should band together and demand an explanation for the taxes. They demand an explanation for where the money goes. The people that find out where the money goes, they just look like conspiracy theorists because there's just so few of them. They're in it for themselves too. They want the money, and they don't try to get a group together. You never see Alex Jones try to get like a coalition of anything. He just rants, saying all these things that, yeah, that's true and it's great stuff, but it's a selfish reason that's at the heart of it. He's about him, while saying that he's about you. Those are the essential problems. That people submit to this instead of uniting. So we are behind it all. That's what's strange about it. People that take the evil initiative to be selfish and persuasive, and if they have a little bit of charisma, or if they got a lot of charisma, then people just come flocking to them because that's what they feel they need in their lives. And what they really need is solidarity, instead of always looking for a leader to follow. So, just like the basic ideas of most good parts of religions, it's about love your neighbor instead of loving yourself. If you actually do that, and you can convince other people to do that, then something can happen. That's it. Without naming any, names of anyone, because there's all different power groups behind the problem, and they all operate the same way. Whether it's in the government, banking, or religion, or entertainment, or anything, it's just this power of persuasion by a few people that are just trying to dupe other people out of their money. Like the toy industry, that's taking advantage of people with kids. Getting a kid to scream on their mother's jacket, I want that, and they scream, and if they can get the kid to like it so much, they just scream until the mom pays for it, and then it's overpriced anyway, and her budget goes broke because she's always buying her kids toys. That's just as evil as anything else that you can name. Whether it's Scientology, the myths about the Jesuits, or the Knights of Malta, anything like that, it's always the same kind of thing. Whether it's the Mormon Church, it's just, they pick something to persuade people that are confused and looking for direction in their life, and it's just about getting the money. If you can get people to recognize that that's what it is, then you're going to get somewhere.